Very good morning. Today we are going to see about what is string and how we are going to manipulate the string in JavaScript. So I would like to make use of my VS Code, okay, in order to represent what is strings. In JavaScript, strings are a sequence of characters. They treated as primitive data types. Strings are primitive data types. In JavaScript, strings are automatically converted into string object. Actually, we have two representation of defining the string. One is to define the string by literal. Say for example, suppose let me have one constant str1 equivalent to this is string by literal. This is string by literal. Once if you make use of single quotes or double quotes, either you can use single quotes or double quote. Say for example, if you print this console.log of str1, okay. So you just listen here. This is string by literal. See, print string by literal. You can use single quotes rather than the double quotes. Either you can use single quotes or double quotes in order to define the string. Okay, right now I'm using single quotes. Right now I'm running this program, so I'm clear and running this program. So this is also perfectly working. So this is called as string by literals. And another approach in order to define the string by object. So look, constant str2 equivalent to new string of. This is by hi. This is a string by constant. Let me have the value of string by object. This is string as object. String as object. This is string as object. So once if you go for console.log, okay, so str2. So let me have this as object, okay. Object representation. Object representation, okay. Let me clear and run once again. You just listen here. This is string by literal and this is object string as object. So both are getting working. The important thing in order to understand the string either by the literal or by the objects, that's very important. Once if you want to manipulate the string, there are several string methods are associated. I think more than 30 methods are available, exactly 34 methods. Some methods are deprecated and it consists of one property. So like right now just I am using str1. So this is primitive. Actually this is primitive, this is object, okay. So this is primitive. So str1 dot, just listen here. These are all the methods. Just listen here. These are all the methods. Okay, these are all the methods. So these are all deprecated, and length one property is there. Okay, so these are all methods. You just listen here. This is a method. So this is a property which is represented as length. Okay, so string dot length. It's a property. So once if you want to perform any operations, any manipulations, you can call the concern method. So as you people are aware that methods are used to call objects are used to call the method. Here str2 is an object. You just listen here. Console dot. I would like to clear and explain once again. Console dot log of type of str1. So if I call the type of str1, I'm not saving it. If I call type of, so this is string. Okay, this is string. Type of str1 is a string. Suppose if I call type of str2, I'm clearing this and running this program. This is an object. Feel the difference between the declaration. So this is by object, this is by literal. That's what it shows. So if you call str type of str1 as well as console.log of type of str2, there is a difference between these two. This is a string primitive data type and this one is an object. Okay, so I'm clearing this and let the program script to be run once again. So you just listen here, this is a string, type of str1 is a string and the type of str2 is an object. Okay, so what is the main use of an object? Which is used to call the methods of the concerned class. So almost string is a class. Okay, so it consists of it have a lot of methods. I already informed you. str2 dot, once if you give dot, it will give all the methods. You just listen here, index of, it's a method, index of, it's a method. You just listen here, index of, here you just note down here, it's a method, it takes some parameters. Okay, so these are all the predefined methods. But my question is, object have an accessible to all the methods of the particular string class, but how it's possible for the literal? You just listen here. Once if I call str1 dot, again the same method will be available for the literal also. So this is very important, this process. So in JavaScript, strings, primitive strings are automatically, this is primitive strings, are automatically converted into string object when using string methods. Once if you want to make use of string method, so it will be automatically converted into string object. This process is called as auto boxing. This process is called as auto boxing. So once you just clearly understand that what is auto boxing. The primitive string have the access of all the methods of the string classes. So that is called as auto boxing. Okay, so here str2 as a nature, you already know that str2 is an object. So by nature it have the access, it have an eligibility to access all the methods of the concerned class. But here this is by literal, this is primitive. So once if you want to access the method, so there is a process of converting, there is a process of conversions here. So that process is called as auto boxing. Okay, so that is very important thing. Even you can use constant str3 equivalent to backtick. This is the string representation which is used for multiple lines, multiple lines. So here I am using backtick. So the first one is a single tick, or you can use double quotes. Here this is a backtick. Okay, so now you just listen here, str3 console dot log of str3. Running this. So just listen here. This is the string representation used for multiple lines. So we can use backtick also. Okay. So you can ask, str3 have eligible? Yeah, of course. It have an eligible to access all the methods of the concerned class. You just listen here. In next video, I will explain how to make use of these methods one by one. Okay, you just follow the JavaScript's string methods in future video. Thank you. Keep watching the next video in this series.